Alrighty, thank you for joining me here this afternoon. The time is 4 p.m. Eastern. That's right, today's event is taking place in Eastern time because we have a severe weather outbreak underway here across portions of the Northeast and the Ohio Valley today, which is not common for this time of year, alright? Normally in mid-April, we're talking about either the southern United States or the Midwestern United States. We're usually not talking about the Northeast, but today we are. We have an enhanced risk of severe weather in place for portions of Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Ohio today. The main threat being damaging winds and large hail, but an isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out, okay? Damaging wind threat, if you're in that red area today, you're going to have a 30% chance to see wind gusts of 60 miles per hour or higher in your town, which can act as low-end tornado force winds. So make sure that you do have multiple ways to receive weather alerts today, like your weather radios, tornado sirens, your phone, whatever you have. Make sure that you have at least two sources of weather alerts in case one of the ones does not end up working for one reason or the other. Again, tornadoes and hail are also threats today. They're kind of secondary threats, while the damaging wind threat is the main thing that we're going to be watching today because we're going to have a linear line of storms form here across parts of New York, Pennsylvania, all the way back through Ohio, and it's going to be moving southeast here, and it is going to bring some isolated damaging wind gusts, possibly up to 70 miles per hour, and then again, maybe an isolated embedded tornado in that line. Right now, we do not have too much going on, but the expected convection time to form here is somewhere between now and 1 hour ahead, okay? So we're talking about between 4 and 5 p.m. Eastern time here. Our storms will likely form, according to the National Weather Service here. We do have a new mesoscale discussion specifically about the event that's upcoming here. I'll go ahead and bring that up really quickly. You can see convection expected to develop from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Damaging gusts and hail are the main hazards. Monitoring for watch issuance. There's an 80% chance of a severe thunderstorm or tornado watch being issued for this event. I'd lean more towards the severe thunderstorm watch because, again, this is mainly a damaging wind and large hail thing, but an isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out, okay? So that's what the threats are in play for today. That's where they're going to happen, and we are kind of getting an early start here, but that's because we do have the line of storms starting to develop here across portions of central and southern New York and portions of northern Pennsylvania, northeastern Ohio, and again, that line is going to be the big problem here. It's going to move southeastward into portions of Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia, and cause possibly some significant severe weather, including the threat for damaging winds, large hail, and even a couple of tornadoes, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the stream chat here. If you do have any questions about your location, make sure to leave those down below because again, we're not usually talking about this area very often, so I'm sure we're going to have a lot of new viewers in here because Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, we're normally not talking about you guys at this time of year, so it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how this area does today with damaging wind gusts like this because it's been a while since they've had to deal with a severe weather event like this, so we'll have to see. All right, we really will. We do not have too many cyclone ports out in this region, unfortunately, so that's going to be a huge problem. We're not going to have too many live cams to look at out here to monitor the severe weather. We did just get a new Storm Prediction Center update, actually. We did get the 4 p.m. Eastern Time update. We are sticking with the same threats that we had before, so it's basically the same SPC outlook there. So yeah, we're kind of just chilling here, waiting for the first couple of severe storms to pop off. We did have a severe thunderstorm earlier today near Ithaca, New York. It was a very isolated event, though. It was one storm, so I didn't want to go live for that. I want to do one big stream today instead of several smaller streams like we usually do. So yeah. But if you are in portions of Pennsylvania today, pretty much the entire state's going to be under the gun for some level of severe weather. Mainly the central portion of the state, okay? We do have Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in that enhanced risk. If you're in, like, for northern Pennsylvania, you've still got a risk, but the storms may be a little bit less intense in this area here, like near Erie And then if you're in like southeastern Pennsylvania there, let's say you're in Philadelphia, the threat is going to be much lower for you. Maybe just some isolated showers and storms. You're probably not going to get hit by the big line here that we're talking about, which, again, is starting to form now. We do have some isolated storms that may be capable of producing some gusty winds already popping up here in parts of New York. There's the new SPC update. So we're starting to get there again. The severe thunderstorm / tornado watch will likely be issued sometime soon, because convection is really just now starting to get going here. We kind of got some isolated stronger storms starting to pop up over Lake Erie here. And those, again, are going to move southeast here into portions of northeast Ohio, kind of move into parts of central Pennsylvania, and eventually even make it all the way towards, like, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey. They'll probably be much weaker by then. As you can see, that area only has a marginal risk for the most part, but still, gotta watch out in that area for some isolated strong to severe storms. These storms are about to sweep into northeastern Ohio once again. So if you are out here in northeastern Ohio, maybe you're already seeing some showers and storms there near Ashtabula. Oh wait, there's the new SPC update. There we go. But some more are going to be sweeping in. If you're in Cleveland, you're likely going to start to see some pop-up showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two come in. Likely not going to be severe. You're only at the marginal risk of severe weather today. But a couple could be strong. So look out for that. Again, unfortunately, we don't have like any cyclone ports up here in the Northeast because severe weather is not really a thing up here for the most part. It's not very common, especially in April, that we're talking about areas like Massachusetts and, Connecticut and New York getting hit by severe storms and possibly even tornadoes. But we are today. If you are pretty much anywhere north of central New York, you're out of the severe risk just because it is so cold up here. The dew points aren't high enough. There's not enough room for convection up there, basically. And then, if you are east of, I'd say, Hartford, Connecticut, you're also not really going to have a severe risk for today. Long Island, I know we got a couple of viewers in Long Island. The western portion of Long Island could get hit by a couple of showers and thunderstorms today. So if you are in the Oyster Bay area, look out there. We do have quite a bit of convection out here in New England right now, but that's just your typical pop-up showers and storms. Nothing severe for you guys, most likely. And again, we are starting to see that convection, this line here form across portions of, northeast Ohio, kind of up there towards North Pennsylvania and southern New York at the minute. And again, those storms are going to be heading south-southeast. So, if I was drawing this enhanced risk, I would actually push this a little bit further out to the east and cut off a little bit of the west here. Canton, Ohio, perfect example. You are technically in the enhanced risk of severe weather, but I think the main threat for you is going to be damaging winds and nothing else really, and I don't feel like that's something that warrants an enhanced risk, but you are in that enhanced risk. So obviously listen to the Storm Prediction Center over me, but I'm just kind of giving my personal opinion, how I would have drawn this. It is a little bit of a surprise that we even have an enhanced risk at all today, because again, the Northeast, man, in April, it's not common to see severe weather up here. It's really not. We do have a bit of a winter weather event ongoing here in California today, and a little bit of a storm event too. We do have a minor atmospheric river moving through. We'll actually go ahead and bring up our Mount Shasta cam. Look at that. It is a winter wonderland out there right now in Mount Shasta, California. We're actually going to make that bigger. We're going to expand that. So if you're in Mount Shasta right now, you are getting dumped on by big snowflakes, really. But yeah, we do have a bit of an atmospheric river moving through California here. That's going to bring some storms and maybe even some snow to portions of California here. And that's eventually going to be our big storm that we have coming in tomorrow, as well as Tuesday here. That's going to move off to the east, and This is a big update from my last video. We now have 2 enhanced risks of severe weather tomorrow. One of them is centered around the Oklahoma-Texas region, and the others up here in portions of Nebraska and Kansas. So you got to look out in both those areas. Also, we're going to have a slight risk tomorrow here for the rest of this dying line of storms here for parts of Virginia, North Carolina, okay? So, got to look out there too, but the main area we are going to be watching is out here in the Central Plains. Those enhanced risks are driven by a hatched hail risk. So, large to very large hail of 2 to 3 inches in diameter will be the main threat for tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just kind of going over the upcoming storms because we don't have too much popping off right now. But it is getting going. We are starting to see some more storm activity out here across the upper Ohio Valley. Again, bottom left-hand corner of your screen, a live look at Mount Shasta, California, where we have got some heavy snow falling, man. You don't see something like that in mid-April unless you live in the mountains, and there you go. It is a winter wonderland out there. If you're in Mount Shasta, you already have a ton of snow, but they're talking about up to 6 inches more of snow falling on top of what you already have in the highest elevations of the mountains here. We do have Storm Chaser Brandon Kopic out there today. Right now, he is kind of chilling near Toledo, Ohio. He's riding I-75. I think what he's actually doing, I may be wrong, but I think he's probably getting in position for tomorrow's event rather than today's event. He may be going to today's event, but I doubt it. A lot of the Storm Chasers right now are accumulating like around Kansas and Oklahoma for tomorrow's event. We don't have too many out there on today's event, which again, combine that with the lack of cyclone reports out here, and we really don't have any ways to look at the storm. So today is a good day to emphasize, please, if you do have any storm reports, send those in to your local National Weather Service that we can know what's really going on out there, because we don't have like any other way to see what's going on out here. We don't have live cams for the most part. We don't really have any storm chasers out there today, because they're all getting ready for tomorrow's event in the Central Plains. And overall, it's going to be an interesting storm system here. So again, at this point, the line of storms is kind of getting going here. You know, southwest New York, northwest Pennsylvania, northeastern Ohio. And again, it's going to sweep down to the southeast here, go through Pennsylvania. And maybe a little bit of Ohio gets in on that action. We'll have to wait and see for that. If you're in West Virginia, if you're in the northern half of the state, you could be in for some sort of thunderstorm risk. But if you're south of Charleston, West Virginia, you're not seeing anything today. But I will say, that means that you're going to be in the threat for tomorrow. But overall, I don't think Charleston, West Virginia is really going to see too much. Because, again, these storms are taking a southeast track. So, I think, for the most part, West Virginia is kind of going to be spared there. But tomorrow, for this line of storms, we'll be watching Virginia, North Carolina. And then, obviously, we got our other storm system tomorrow, too. Which is out here right now in the western United States, causing some snow. So, it's going to be an active few days of weather, and even on Tuesday here, we've got an enhanced risk for portions of the Midwest here. Again, damaging winds, large hail, possibly even a few tornadoes. I think Tuesday and Monday are going to be the biggest days to watch for sure. We do have a day 4 slight risk on Wednesday, though, and, you know, I would not rule out this getting upgraded to an enhanced risk as well. So we may have 4 days in a row with an enhanced risk of severe weather. This day 4 slight risk right now does include Cincinnati, Ohio. That definitely includes Louisville, Kentucky, Evansville, Indiana, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, Clarksville, Tennessee, Bloomington, Indiana. And again, I would not rule out an enhanced risk getting put in there, maybe somewhere in here, maybe for areas like Evansville, Indiana, and Louisville, Kentucky. kind of the southern Indiana, northwest Kentucky area, if I had to guess. And again, they may not blow an end, but usually when you have a day 4 slate risk at this time of year, that does end up happening. So we'll just have to see how long the storms last, that big old system out there, because it's the same one that's going to be causing all the severe weather for the next few days. You know, it's out here causing a bit of an atmospheric river right now, and then tomorrow it's going to be impacting the Central Plains. Tuesday it's going to be impacting the Midwest. Wednesday it's going to be impacting the Ohio Valley. It's going to take a long time for this system to die out. I wouldn't even rule out a slight risk of severe weather on Thursday for portions of Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, Kentucky, West Virginia. So it is going to be an active stretch of weather here for sure. Alright, we kind of do have a few more intense bands of storms popping up now in portions of central New York. And again, these on Lake Erie right now are kind of starting to sweep in here to northeastern Ohio. So we'll have to look out. We'll have to look out for that there. Again, no warnings yet. No watches yet, even. Alright, sorry I haven't been talking. I am texting somebody at the minute. But, again, here's your line of storms right now. That is going to head southeastward. Sorry, I'm just texting a friend right now. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we are watching a severe weather outbreak underway here for portions of Pennsylvania, Ohio, and New York. We do have that mesoscale discussion, and in fact, they're talking about an 80% chance of either a tornado or severe thunderstorm watch being issued between now and 5 p.m. Eastern, or 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And if that watch does get issued, that is going to be for portions of Pennsylvania back into eastern Ohio, a bit of northern West Virginia, kind of back into just a sliver there of New York. So that will include Scranton, Pennsylvania, that will include Pittsburgh, that will include Canton, Ohio, Wheeling, West Virginia, Akron, Ohio, I believe is included in that. So if you are out there in that area and you have like a NOAA weather radio, don't be surprised if that does start beeping soon. Hello, that valid. Don't be surprised if your weather radio does start beeping soon, or if you have like an app on your phone, because a severe thunderstorm watch is likely to be issued for this area, I'd say between now and the next 30 to 45 minutes. So just get ready for that. Make sure that you do have a severe thunderstorm / tornado action plan in place tonight, because these storms are going to be still sweeping through Pennsylvania at, even like 8 to 9 p.m. So it's going to be a long one, you guys. Alright. So again, we're just kind of waiting for this to get started here. It is getting there. this is our line of storms here that we're going to be waiting to pop off, kind of. We're waiting for it. And it is getting there. It's starting to come onto land here. It is starting to produce some isolated thunderstorm activity. And that will only grow more and more here as we go on. As time goes on, I should say. While we're waiting, we can go ahead and look at take a look at some areas around the country, see the conditions. Eastern Kansas. It is 89 degrees out there in Burlington, Kansas right now. That is insane. It's almost 90 degrees. It's flat out hot out there today, guys. And you know, with the dew points sitting in the high 50s, it's muggy, it's nasty. I'm sure nobody is enjoying being outside right now if you are in that area. And the reason it's so hot is because we have storms that are riding a warm front. That heat is going to bring along with it some severe weather. So let's go and take a look at some more areas. South Central Wisconsin. That cannot be accurate. There's no way it's actually 95 degrees out there today. I don't know why it says that. There's just no way. North Texas, 88 degrees. All right. Central Texas, 85 degrees. It's hot out there today, guys. In the areas that are going to see severe weather tomorrow, it is hot out there today. Because, again, we do have storms riding the warm front. 89 in northwestern Missouri today. South Central Louisiana, it's calm. You're sitting at about 78 degrees. And the reason for that is because the warm front is not totally hitting you, which is the same reason that you're not going to be seeing severe weather out of this event for the most part. If we take a look at the day 2 outlook here, you see that Louisiana is not included in any severe risk. Day 3, you do have a slight risk if you're in like northwestern Louisiana, but we are looking at south central Louisiana, which is not in any sort of severe risk at all throughout the next several days here. So yeah, central Arkansas, sitting at about 80 degrees at the minute. They're in Perry County. Northwest Tennessee, 74 degrees. There's got to be some sort of glitch here. It just bumped from 74.86 down to, I guess it only dropped like half a degree, but still, that's big in 1 second. We got South Central Tennessee sitting at about 83 degrees out there today. You're down there in South Central Alabama. You got about 85 degrees on the board for you. Far Southern Mississippi, 73. Beautiful out there today in Gulfport, Mississippi, that area. Again, this is a glitch. It's not actually 95 degrees in Wisconsin right now. North California, you're sitting at about 33. The snow has stopped on our Mount Shasta cam. We're in a calmer period, but it will pick up again pretty soon here. Eastern Kentucky, you got about 81 degrees on the board for you right now. Charlotte, North Carolina, 85. This is out there near Toronto. You got about 72 degrees on the board for you, which is pretty warm for that area. For mid-April. Let's see here. Southwestern Ohio, sitting at about 80 degrees, 81 degrees. Pretty beautiful out there today. You got the slight breeze going on there. Near perfect conditions, I would say. I'd say maybe I like it a little bit cooler than that, but that's hard to complain about. Look at that cloud. That looks so weird there. It's like in a circle shape. It looks like a hurricane almost. Northeast Georgia, sitting at about 86.5 degrees. Wow. East Central Georgia, 87.5 degrees. Dang. It's hot out there today, you guys. I feel like the difference between 80 and 90 degrees is insane. Like, the difference between 70 and 80 is not that crazy, but I think a lot of people would say 80 degrees is, like, their ideal temperature, but 90 degrees is, like, scorching hot. And it's only a jump of 10 degrees. It's kind of funny. Alright. our storms are starting to sweep into northeastern Ohio here. Madison, Ohio is starting to get in on some of that moderate rainfall action. Maybe a strike of lightning, it looks like, out there near Perry. We do have some storm activity picking up here in northwest Ohio, northwest Pennsylvania, southwestern New York. Unfortunately, we don't have very good radar coverage out there, but you can kind of see the little storm cell there just a little bit near Bradford, Pennsylvania. And again, that's what's going to be our main severe threat for today. It's going to be this line, but once it gets kind of to central Pennsylvania and eastern Ohio, it's going to become much stronger, which, again, I am expecting that severe thunderstorm watch. Again, I think it's going to be a severe thunderstorm watch, not a tornado watch, to be issued for this area between now and maybe the next 20 to 30 minutes. So just be prepared out there. That will set your NOAA weather radio off, depending on how you have that set up. But yeah, this is kind of just a wait party right now, so if anybody has any questions in chat, this is the time. I mean, we don't have anything going on right now, really, so now's the time to go ahead and shoot those out at me. I am actively looking at chat here. It will take me about 20 seconds to respond to it because of the stream delay, but as soon as I see it, I am reading it, so... Dickinson, Texas, sitting at about 80 degrees today. Very nice out there. I kind of like 70 degrees to 75 degrees. What's your guys' ideal temperature? See, the thing is, once it gets hotter than like 70 degrees, wasps start to come out, and I hate wasps very much. So, I'm not a fan of anything warmer than that. But that's like the perfect temperature. You know, like 70 degrees, maybe a 15 mile per hour wind. That is like beautiful for me. Alright. But yeah, what are your guys' ideal weather conditions? I'm curious. Ooh, this is interesting. The other day, Hawaii had a severe thunderstorm warning. That is rare. We do not see Hawaii getting severe thunderstorm warnings, like, at all. But this system here prompted a severe thunderstorm warning for a portion of the state. We've even got some stronger storms out there right now, capable of producing damaging winds, maybe some isolated small hail. And then if you're on the Big Island, you're going to be seeing some snow here and some damaging winds, it looks like. Localized gusts to 90 miles per hour. That is insane for Hawaii. Now, that is only going to be, like, a singular gust that happens at, like, the peak mountaintop. So, even if you're, like, 10 miles away from there, it's not going to be as bad as that, right? So, there's no reason to panic. But if you're on the tippity top of the mountains there, those are going to be, like, hurricane force winds. So, gotta watch out there. That's why we have that high wind warning in effect, and the winter weather advisory is in effect. The snow amounts are not going to be too terribly bad. Additional snow accumulations of up to 2 inches. Some spots already have snow, which is why they say additional accumulations, but up to 2 more inches of snow could fall there. Oh, what the heck. Let's take a look at Newark-on-Trent in the United Kingdom. So at 77 degrees pretty much there right now. It's looking like we got a low pressure system coming on in. We cooked. Okay. I feel like I'm missing something. Like, is there context that I'm not aware of? So yeah, we do have some showers and thunderstorms starting to pop up there in northeastern Ohio, northwestern Pennsylvania at the minute. This cluster is going to be eventually what turns into our severe line, but that's not going to be severe likely until it reaches at least northern PA, I'd say. I mean, it is kind of in northern PA right now, which, I mean, we may really start to see this kick off pretty soon, basically, is what I'm saying. We do have a new special weather statement, actually, and that's going to be all the way out there in Oregon. I was watching this storm a little bit there. You saw me earlier. We have a strong storm out there in Oregon, capable of producing wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour and pea-size to half-inch size hail there. So if you are in this area here, you got to look out for this. This is near Paisley at the minute. Kind of just off to the east of Highway 31, and that is traveling west. It just moved through Paisley. It's going to cross over Highway 31 here. It's going to go over all these little mountaintops. It is going to cross over the Summer Lake soon, so if you're on the Summer Lake, make sure that you're getting out of there. Some dangerous conditions are going to be coming if you are in that area. We also have the frequent cloud-to-ground lightning tag on this. Persons and campgrounds should consider seeking street shelter until these storms pass. Yep, 100%. The reason they put that on there is because there are a lot of campsites out here by the lake, I'd imagine. And this isn't a pretty terrible radar hole. We talked about this last time with Oregon. Oregon does not get good radar coverage. Really nowhere in the Northwest does, unless you're, like, really lucky. I was going to say unless you're right next to the radar site, but that's obvious. But yeah, this is kind of the storm we're watching now, surprisingly, in Oregon. Again, this is just about to cross over Highway 31 in between Paisley and the Silver Lake, and then Summer Lake's right here. We do have a little bit of a community out here, it looks like. So this storm is coming in, so if you're out there camping, make sure that you do get indoors somewhere. It's not going to be like some crazy storm, but again, some gusty wind, some small hail, deadly lightning occurring with this storm right now. So you got to look out for that. If this does continue off to the west here, this is eventually going to make it towards Chiloquin and Highway 97 there. So that is kind of our strongest storm right now, actually, funnily enough. Again, we do have some storms starting to pop off here in southern New York, actually. You know, even if we just play it back a few frames, we see it was all rain, but now we're starting to get some real storms here starting to fire off kind of in southern and southeastern New York here, specifically in like the Downsville area. You got one moving in, Walton. You just went through this. If you're in Anns, so we'll head towards Rockland pretty soon here. So we may see a localized severe thunderstorm in this area here, this general vicinity. I would not rule it out over the next 20 minutes, I'd say. So if you're in southeastern New York, get ready for that. But let's go and move back to our strong storm out there in Oregon. Again, this just went through Paisley. This is going to continue to head off to the west here. Again, if it does make it far enough, it is going to head towards Chiloquin eventually, but that's quite a bit down the line here. It is right now probably crossing over Highway 31 here in between Paisley and the Silver Lake area. And I think the only thing stopping this from getting a warning associated with it is the terrible radar coverage. But we probably have a couple of stronger storms up here, too, to the north of Highway 20, near Hampton. Alright. So, just be wary of that. I think Hampton's mainly going to miss out on the worst of it. But the north of Hampton, you could get an isolated strong storm up there. Looks like Hampton's just this little community anyway. Sorry. Ugh, bless me. Not really a town out there, just a community. We do have snow falling on the Mount Shasta cam again, and that's the same exact system there that is producing that strong thunderstorm up in Oregon. It's kind of interesting how it can produce a strong thunderstorm and snow at the same time, you know? and heavy snow too. So, again, some of these are, okay, yeah, some of these are starting to get a little bit more intense if you are here in southeastern New York. Again, I would not rule out a localized severe thunderstorm or two here over the next 20 to 30 minutes in that region. Kind of just a sliver of northeast Pennsylvania, southeastern New York, maybe a little bit there of northwestern Connecticut. But right now I'm watching this one mainly that just went through Downsville. That little guy there. Unfortunately, there's not great radar coverage out in this area. That's kind of like my catchphrase at this point, but there's really not. Yeah, it looks like Brandon Kopic is heading out for tomorrow's event, not going for today's. He's going to have a long drive ahead of him here. He's going all the way from Ohio, likely at least to Kansas. So, hope he has a safe travel there. And we already have a lot of storm chasers in position. I know we have Aaron Jack, Vince Welty, probably Corey Gherkin too, I think. Maybe even Brad Arnold. We'll see. Just kind of depends there. Again, this is kind of your line of strong storms out there now in Oregon. It's going to continue to head off to the west here. Not really northwest like that arrow I drew, kind of to the south and the west. Mainly just pretty much due west, though, actually. Maybe a little bit to the south. According to this, it's moving west at 35 miles per hour. So, again, Chiloquin, you may see a storm or two over the next hour or so. I know Chiloquin's a pretty populated area out there in Oregon. And, again, we are watching for some storms now to pop off in southeastern New York here, potentially. Take a look at the Albany radar. And we may have some lines out there already capable of producing gusty winds. Let's take a look here at northeast Ohio. And yeah, they're starting to get in there. Cleveland, like the downtown area, you got a little bit of a storm coming in. Some heavy rain. Maybe a tad bit of tiny hail. Some gusty winds potentially. So look out there. We'll see if that gets like a special weather statement or something, but I don't think it will. Kind of surprised none of those have warranted a special marine warning, considering they're over waters and they're decently strong there. Usually special marine warnings are issued in those situations. But moving back out here to Oregon, we do have our line of storms that just passed through Paisley. It's going to continue to head westward here, just now crossing Highway 31 here in between Paisley and the Silver Lake area. Our Mount Shasta cam is getting a few snow flurries out there still. Actually, some moderate snowfall, I'd say. Yeah, and even though it's a little too warm for snow to stick, I mean, it's still accumulating decently just because of how much has fallen within the past little while here, you know. Got probably an inch or so on the ground at least, I'd say. At the very least, you know, a coating, obviously, we can see. If you're just now tuning in, we are waiting for this severe weather event to start up here in the Northeast. We do have a couple of storms that are starting to pop off in portions of southeastern New York that could be strong to an isolated severe storm there. We do have a couple out here in Connecticut that may be capable of producing gusty winds and small hail, so look out there if you are to the west of the Hartford area. And that is going to be connected to this line of storms as well that's currently moving through northern PA, northeast Ohio. Again, in Cleveland, you got a bit of a storm coming in. Some wind, some hail maybe. Nothing crazy though. And then we've also got our storm out here in Oregon that's kind of overperforming here as it approaches the Highway 97 area near Chilliwack eventually. Just now crossing over Highway 31 once again. Over all these little mountaintops, just went through Paisley. That is an elevated gust out there, and it's a really terrible radar area once again, but It's looking like we could have a couple of stronger gusts out there with this line of storms associated with that line of storms there in southern Oregon. Nothing severe, but we do have this warned for 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and I'd say that's at least possible, maybe even 40-mile-per-hour gusts at the surface, because obviously the surface winds are going to be pretty close to the radar elevated winds, just because we got a lot of mountaintops out here. So let's go ahead and move back out here to the northeast, where our main event is going to be underway here within the next hour or so, for the most part. We have already been live for 40 minutes, and really so far we've seen nothing. We're just chilling here. Again, I do want to make this one long stream instead of a bunch of shorter streams this time around. I do need to get up and kind of pace around for a second here just to kind of cool off, because it's very hot in this room. The sun is shining directly into it. And, you know, it's pretty warm even here in central Illinois. We got about 80 degrees out there right now and sunny. It's decently hot out there. Alright, let's get back into coverage mode here. Again, our line of storms that just went past Highway 31 is continuing to head off to the south and the west here towards Chiloquin. And Chiloquin, give it about an hour or so until those storms get pretty close to you, I'd say. And, let's see here. We do have this storm near Warren, Pennsylvania that looks like it is trying to intensify there. That little notch in the line of storms. Unfortunately, though, again, there's no great radar coverage for that area there in northwestern PA. We have to kind of wait until it travels a little bit further to the south here. But, I mean, you can tell it's definitely at least a gusty wind, maybe even a small hail maker there, for sure. So we may see that get special weather statement warned or something here over the next few minutes. Maybe even a severe thunderstorm warning down the line here. And yeah, the new scan on the Pittsburgh radar is definitely still showing that to be a pretty good storm out there as it approaches Clarendon. This is pretty much heading directly south. Well, never mind. It's moving pretty much directly southeast, actually. That's going to hit Glade, Clarendon, Stoneham. Eventually, it's going to make it all the way down here towards Gibbs Hill in Ludlow. And then down the line, we're talking about Kane even getting hit. And Kane's a pretty big town, so you got that storm coming in. So just kind of be aware of that there. I think that's going to probably skim the north side of Kane. I don't think central, like downtown Kane's going to get hit very hard. But just off to the north of the city, maybe. Or the town, maybe I should say. I don't really think that's a city. But it's a pretty big town out there, relative to what we've been talking about so far this stream. And again, right now that cell is near Warren. Just passed through Warren. Now on the eastern side of town, the southeast side of town, most likely here near Shipman's Eddy. That little neighborhood in Warren. In Pennsylvania, once again. So again, if you're just now tuning into the stream, we're watching a couple of areas of storms right now. We got this little line out here in Oregon that is producing some gusty winds and small hail as it approaches Chiloquin. And then we've also got a severe weather outbreak underway here in portions of the Northeast and the Ohio Valley here. We got a couple of stronger storms starting to pop off near Warren, Pennsylvania that are heading down to the south and the east. They're going to suck up all that storm juice out here in the orange area. That's your enhanced risk of severe weather. They're going to suck up all the storm juice out there. Come pretty strong, again, with some very heavy damaging wind and large hail action. And again, an isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out. We do have a slight risk of tornadoes today. Slight risk of tornadoes, enhanced risk of damaging winds, and a hatched slight risk of large hail, which means some very large hail might be possible. Up to potentially 2 inches in diameter in some spots, maybe even a little bit bigger, I'd say. I would not rule out an isolated tennis ball size hail report, or maybe a little bit smaller than tennis ball size hail report, possibly. Yeah, Again, we're just going to have to kind of wait and see here. I think the largest of the hail is mainly going to be out here in, like, central PA. Our storms in northeast Ohio have pretty much, you know, I guess you could say they've made landfall now, as silly as that sounds. They're not that crazy yet, though, obviously. This one's kind of moving through eastern Cleveland, doing maybe some heavy rainfall, a little bit of lightning out there. This little guy here near Lodi, right over Pawnee right now. Just passed through Pawnee, actually. I guess Pawnee's a road, but the community of Pawnee out here, where New London Eastern Road and Pawnee meet, I should say, I guess. And again, we do have this intensifying line of storms now in northwestern PA. I think a couple of these will probably get severe warning within the next 30 minutes. And I also think that severe thunderstorm watch is definitely even closer to being issued now. I'd say maybe 10 to 15 minutes that's going to be issued, if I had to guess. Imagine it just doesn't get issued at all and I just look like a complete fool. Yeah, these are definitely picking up here. Some wind, some hail are definitely possible with these cells near Warren, Titusville, Meadville, and Pennsylvania. And yeah, wow. Alright. We are kind of getting ready here. We're kind of getting serious. We do have some significant severe weather underway at this point, almost. I still have to emphasize almost. We're not quite there yet. But again, Meadville, Titusville, Warren, Lafayette, in Pennsylvania. These storms are sweeping through right now. Titusville's going to get hit by a pretty big one here. Not really that big, but some heavy rain possibly, some lightning. These storms are going to kind of move southeast here down highways 6 and 62. And let's get one last storm out here, or update here on our storm in Oregon before we have to seriously get into our severe watching mode. Yeah, again, this is going to continue to head southwest here towards Klamath Falls and Chiloquin. I know I've said it like 100 times now, but it is. That's my last update there, kind of just letting you know where it's going to head, because we're not going to be able to take too many more looks at it, I don't think, now that this is really getting started out here. Clarendon, you've kind of got a pretty big storm over you right now, actually, in Pennsylvania. Definitely doing some heavy rain, maybe even a little bit of small hail. If you do get a hail report, or see any hail, send that in to your local National Weather Service. Quite a bit of lightning, too, associated with that one over Clarendon, and Old Clarendon there. Just passed through Warren. And again, we talked about where this storm's going already, but it's going to kind of head down here southeast towards Ludlow, Wetmore, and maybe as far south as northern Kane. So, again, we may see a special weather statement for that soon, possibly a severe thunderstorm warning. Usually they go with a special weather statement first, though, before the storm gets to severe limits. Our snow is picking up there in Mount Shasta, California now. Things are really starting to pick up out there, so I think just so that I don't have to go in like the middle of a big severe event, I'm going to go ahead and use the restroom right now. I'm going to throw a BRB on the screen right there, and I will be right back. Again, this severe weather event is going to be with us shortly, so stay tuned. Alright, you guys, I am back now. Looks like nothing much has happened while I was gone. I was only gone for a couple minutes. Oh, and there we go. Something has actually happened. This line of storms we mentioned just got warned for 50-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. This warning does include Titusville and Cocranton. Is that how you pronounce that? I don't know. But again, this is capable of producing wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour and penny-sized hail, which is very close to severe limits. Very close. If either of those threats do increase too much, we will see a severe thunderstorm warning likely being issued for this area soon. Again, right now, Titusville, right, this is a pretty populated area. Should probably be getting indoors. As the warning says, if outdoors, consider seeking shelter inside a building here. Gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Minor hail damage to vegetation is possible. Again, this is heading for Titusville, eventually Pleasantville possibly. And we may even have a little bit of hail out there now near Gresham. And again, we called out this storm quite a while ago, so there is no reason anybody out here shouldn't be prepared. I know I said we were taking our final look last time, but we'll take another look at Oregon here. Yeah, nothing. It's hard to see that storm. It's hard to see this one too, but this one is a bit more intense. Again, Meadville is technically in this warning. I know it's a very big town there, slash city even. But Meadville, this is past you. You went through the worst of it already. I know it didn't feel like much, but that's because it wasn't that intense when it hit you. But now it is starting to pick up, which is why that warning there was issued for Titusville and Cocranton. I'm glad we're getting this town out of the way first so that I don't have to embarrass myself later in the stream whenever people are actually watching and not knowing how to pronounce that town name there. But yeah, this storm is coming in now. Cherry Tree, you're not in a warning yet, but it's coming in, man. It really is. Again, this is a strong thunderstorm, close to a severe thunderstorm most likely. And we have another special weather statement for the other storm out here near Clarendon. This has already went through Clarendon, but now Sheffield, Kane, Mount Jewett, we talked about you guys. 40-mile-per-hour winds and half-inch hail will be associated with this storm most likely, and it has the intensification possible tag on it, so we may even see a severe thunderstorm warning pretty soon for this storm here, because again, it is quickly intensifying here as it approaches Kane. So the city of Kane, again, this is like coming in right now, guys. You've got probably 10 minutes before it's on your doorstep, so again, do make sure that you are going ahead and getting indoors. You don't need to like take cover or anything. It's not that dramatic of a storm yet, but it's going to be relatively strong, I'd say. So, don't be scared, be prepared. As long as you're indoors, you'll be fine. It's like not a crazy storm, honestly. Again, I really think that severe thunderstorm / tornado watch, again, I'm thinking it's going to be a severe thunderstorm watch, is going to come in like any minute now. At this point, like, we're already getting special weather statements out there for strong storms. Surely that watch will be issued soon. The mesoscale discussion's only in effect for 37 more minutes, so if it doesn't get issued between now and then, it might not get issued at all, but this is playing out almost exactly how they were expecting, and this is, they were talking about it warranting a watch, so I think this should definitely warrant a watch. Again, I know it doesn't look like much yet, but this will intensify so quickly. Like, just 20 minutes ago, these were showers, and now we've got strong thunderstorm warnings up for this, or special weather statements, but they're basically strong thunderstorm warnings, essentially. That's what I like to call them. Again, if you're in Gresham here, maybe even as far east as Titusville, you could be getting a little bit of hail. Send in any hail reports that you have to the National Weather Service, so this storm can get properly warned, because again, we don't have like any live cams or storm chasers out in this area today. Live cams aren't out here because this area doesn't see severe weather very often, and all the storm chasers are not here because they're in position for tomorrow's event. But today's event is not going to play around either. It's the same level of risk, technically, from the SPC. So Titusville, this is moving through you right now. But within the next 10 to 15 minutes, you're going to be pretty much done. And, you may have some more showers coming in, but storm-wise, that might be literally all the action you see today. Because once this line of storms passes you, you're not going to see much more. You know, it's kind of a one and done thing. So once you get hit by this line, even if you don't get hit by a very intense part, you know, even if it's a smaller storm, that's pretty much all you're going to see. So some areas in the enhanced risk won't even see, you know, even like any storms at all, most likely. But even if you just get like a shower, that might be all you get in this area. This is going to be a conditional localized threat for most spots. So again, Coach Shranton, I think that's how you pronounce it, is getting hit right now. And there we go. First severe thunderstorm warning. All right, we have got the first severe thunderstorm warning of the stream. We had one earlier. I was going to say of the day, but technically that's not true because we had one earlier. But Oil City, Pennsylvania is included in this. That's a pretty big city out there. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds is coming for you guys, so get ready. I am actually going to go ahead and play the little sound. A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued, just to get anybody's attention that has this on in the background and needs to know about this, so I'm going to do that now.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. Everybody, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Oil City. 1-inch in diameter hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts could be coming in. Minor hail damage to vehicles is possible. Expect wind damage to trees and power lines, resulting in some power outages. So they're saying up front, this may be a storm that can knock some power out for a lot of people here, because this is, again, a very populated area. If you're just now tuning in, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning now for Oil City, Cranberry, Grove City, and Clarion in Pennsylvania. Things are finally getting underway. We had to wait like an hour. We already been live for about 56 minutes. That's normally how long my entire streams are. But we are now getting some decent convection out here severe-wise. Again, I think that watch is going to be issued literally any minute now. Again, I'm thinking it's going to be a severe thunderstorm watch. It could be a tornado watch. I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be a severe thunderstorm watch. Because while tornadoes are in play, they are not the main threat for today, for sure. So again, damaging wind gusts and large hail are coming into Oil City very shortly here. So you need to get indoors anywhere in this warning box. Again, this is a populated area, you know. Let's go ahead and check the population of this warning box. And yeah, there are almost 200,000 people included in this warning. We have about 178,000 people that are currently under a severe thunderstorm warning here. This does include Utica, Oil City, Pleasantville, Tionesta, Tylersburg, Clarion. You've got Stoneboro, Grove City, Clark, Greenville. All those areas, large hail, damaging winds coming in. So, get ready, guys. We're getting started here. And, again, they have the intensification possible tag on this storm here, approaching Mount Jewett and Kane pretty soon. So, this area here, get ready for another severe thunderstorm warning. This is not going to be the only warning we see today, for sure. Again, this just swept through Titusville. It's now approaching Toonerville, Pleasantville. This is just a very large warning box in general, but it also includes a lot of major cities, which is why that population is so high. But Venango County, Pennsylvania, Clarion County, Pennsylvania, Mercer County, Pennsylvania, and Forest County, Pennsylvania, you guys are under this severe thunderstorm warning. What's up, America 1776? And some of that convection in northeast Ohio is popping off like we talked about a while ago. Again, it's taken a while to get going here, but this is still going to be a pretty big outbreak, I'm thinking, for specifically Pennsylvania today, most likely. Again, I at this point, I would be shocked if within the next 10 minutes or so we didn't get a severe thunderstorm watch / tornado watch. Look at how much snow is falling on the Mount Shasta cam, by the way. And there we go. Finally, I've said it like 100 times. I was making myself look stupid. But now, we do have that severe thunderstorm watch. Those are not all the counties included in it. The Radar Omega app takes a while to pop up all the counties. But we do have that severe thunderstorm watch in effect now. I'll go ahead and screen share so that you can actually see all the counties included in this. Or not screen share, but screen mirror. Here we go, guys. Severe thunderstorm watch. This was 2 minutes ago. A couple tornadoes possible. Scattered hail up to 2-inch size possible. Scattered gusts up to 70 miles per hour likely there. That does include Canton, Ohio, Zanesville, Ohio. We've got, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Uniontown, Pennsylvania, Altoona, Pennsylvania, and even all the way out to Scranton, Pennsylvania. So, yeah. Gotta look out for that. That is a severe thunderstorm watch that will be in effect until 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And look at all that snow on that Mount Shasta cam there. Wow. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect now for portions of Pennsylvania and Ohio, as well as West Virginia. I think I said Wheeling, Ohio. It's actually Wheeling, West Virginia. But again, we already do have a storm producing large hail and damaging winds in the Oil City area here. Interstate 79 in between mile markers 111 and 138. Interstate 80 in Pennsylvania between mile markers 0 and 60. And Interstate 376 in Pennsylvania between mile markers 0 and 3. Make sure that you are not traveling in those areas right now. Because again, a severe thunderstorm is coming in that area. There could be a lot of accident potential associated with that storm if people are out there driving right now. I know some people don't have a choice. It is rush hour out there. Maybe you're driving out to dinner, to a friend's house. Maybe you work weekends and you're coming home from work. I've just got to warn you, if possible, avoid traveling on really just roads in general, I would say, but specifically the interstates in this area. They're going to be packed. It's going to be dangerous to drive on those, especially for those high-profile vehicles. Like if you're in a semi, you got to avoid this storm. Other than downed trees and power lines and roof damage, the most common report from severe thunderstorm gusts of damage is actually semis being flipped over, I would say. Dude, that is heavy snow on Mount Shasta now in California. Alright, the full watch box is now in, I do believe. Again, that goes as far out as Scranton in Pennsylvania. We do have a cluster of storms here in this line near Vestal, to the south of Vestal, New York, approaching Forest Lake and Montrose in Pennsylvania, that may get warned for something soon. And we have... Oh, never mind. I thought we had a new severe thunderstorm warning, but we don't. I was like, why did the sound not play? But no, we do not have a new warning. Again, there are several pockets of large hail with this. Alright, that is a new severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to go ahead and play the warning sound.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that is going to be for the Ohio side of the border here for this storm. That includes Warren, Ohio, Southington, Cortland, Mecca, Mesopotamia Township. That's for 1-inch hail and 60 mile per hour winds as well. That does include the Ohio side of this line now. There are about, let's see here, how many people are included in this warning? That's what I'm trying to figure out. The warning has not popped up on the Severe T-Storm Twitter page yet, though. There are 283,000 people almost 300,000 people included in this warning. This one's even more populated than the Pennsylvania side. So, the major cities we have in this are Oil City and Warren in Pennsylvania and Ohio, respectively. This does kind of include the eastern suburbs of Cleveland, Ohio, areas like Bainbridge, Chesterland. A lot of these are contributing to the population pretty well. Aurora, it's a pretty big city out there. So again, we do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings right now. Both of them along the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. Right now, in total, we have we have about 450,000 people in a severe thunderstorm warning at the minute. It's probably way too early for this, but let's see if we have any power outage reports yet. Not from, the storms yet, it looks like. Yeah, it doesn't look like we do yet. Actually, this could be. There's about 8,200 people without power in Ohio. That was at 3:53. That was about 12 minutes ago. That was whenever the storm kind of started to intensify, so some of those could be storm-related. Same thing with this one here in Pennsylvania. We have almost 8,000 customers without power already, and this is only the very beginning. We only have 2 severe warnings right now. There's probably going to be a point tonight where we have, 5 to 10 warnings at once, I'd say, at least. And that's going to be pretty much for the entire event at a certain point. Like, as soon as there's 5 warnings in play, it's probably not going to go under 5 warnings for quite a while until, like, the event is really over. I think I chose to go to the bathroom at a pretty good time. Alright, our special weather statement in Oregon has expired, but this is still a line of thunderstorms approaching the Chiloquin and Klamath Falls areas, so look out for that. But now we're more focused on our Pennsylvania storms and our Ohio storms at the minute. We're going to look from the Pittsburgh radar, because we have several pretty impressive hail cores here. One of them near Greenville, one of them near Cherry Tree, off to the east of Cherry Tree, actually. One of them near the Mesopotamia Township area. Again, we may see this storm here that is going through Kane right now get warned pretty soon. The special weather statement has the intensification possible tag on it, and it looks like it's intensified since it was issued, so probably see that get warned for a severe thunderstorm warning relatively shortly here. And again, guys, this line goes all the way out to New York. It's not quite as intense in New York. This area near Forest Lake here, we mentioned to you earlier, you're about to get slapped by a storm, maybe some wind, some hail, possibly some very small hail, I should say. Hail nonetheless, though. Alright, we got a big update, you guys. This severe thunderstorm warning has been upgraded to 1.25 inch in diameter hail here. It's been upgraded from 1 inch into 1.25 inch hail. If those words don't make any sense to you, if those measurements don't make any sense, the scale, 1 inch hail is quarter size hail, 1.25 inch hail is half dollar size hail, and I'll mention the larger sizes once we get to it, but they are relative to, household items. So if you look up the hail translations, if you look up how big is 3 inch hail, let's say you have a piece of hail fall at your house that's 1.5 inches. If you don't know that it's exactly 1.5 inches, compare it to a household item. If you have, a ping pong ball, compare that to a ping pong ball. If it's the same size, that's 1.5 inches. If you don't have a ping pong ball, maybe, you go out to your garage, your kids play ball, get a baseball. Compare it to that. Even if it's smaller than the baseball, that still gives us a good reference of how big the hail is. It doesn't need to be the same size for us to get a reference of how big the hail is from that. So hopefully that made sense there. I just wanted to kind of explain, I know not everybody has a tape measure on hand. But if you need to quickly measure it before it melts, throw in... just compare it to something. Again, it doesn't have to be the exact same size. Even if you say it's smaller than, an apple, that still gives us a reference. And if it's the same size as the item you're comparing, even better, because then we have a specific size of the hail. Again, I do want to encourage everybody, if you are on these interstates in this severe warning, do not travel on the interstates, please, unless you absolutely have to. It's going to be a mess out there. And those damaging wind gusts, again, especially if you're in a high-profile vehicle like a semi, those will flip over your semi, possibly. And it happens more than you would think. I know it sounds dramatic, but it happens all the time in severe thunderstorms like this. Whenever they're in populated areas with big interstates, major interstates. Alright, again, wow. Wow, huge hail now. 71 dBZs south of the 5 points area. Again, very large hail falling in northwestern PA right now. This is going to be approaching the 5 points area, the Sandy Lake area, Stoneboro. So we may start to see some hail reports come in soon, some large hail reports. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning. It is for that storm that we have mentioned several times. That is for Emporium, Pennsylvania. I'm going to go ahead and sound the alarm for that one. Okay, why is it not working? That's kind of weird. Please, work for me. That would be really nice of you. Work.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
There we go, it's like magic. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for a storm approaching Emporium, Pennsylvania, which again, this part of Pennsylvania, and really Pennsylvania as a whole, is very populated. Even this, one of our less populated warnings, one of the smaller warnings, it still includes a very large population. It still includes over 10,000 people. So again, Emporium, that's going to pretty much directly impact you. Again, that storm is capable of producing hail up to 1 inch in diameter and possibly wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Again, most of the large hail, though, is kind of on the northwest Pennsylvania, northeastern Ohio border area, like Oil City, Warren. Would not surprise me if within the next few minutes, if you haven't already, that you see some large hail. And wow, even more impressive hail core now. Oh, I don't want to do a software update. Why does it randomly ask me that? Yeah, even more impressive hail core now. We have several spots reaching over 70 dBZs here. In this very populated area in northwest Pennsylvania, near Sandy Lake, Stoneboro, kind of in the middle of all these towns right now, which is good. It's not impacting inside of the towns. This is going right over Interstate 79, unfortunately, so get ready if you're driving there. Again, I did warn you, not only is there going to be damaging wind gusts, but now your car could get pummeled by massive hail. If that busts your windshield, then that's going to cause some serious problems, because then heavy rain's going to be pouring in, the wind's going to be pouring into your car, and you can't do anything about it. You know, you're driving on the highway or the interstate. I did want to quickly mention, we do have a flash flood warning now for the Big Island here in Hawaii. Or no, this is not the Big Island. What county is this? Kauai. For the entire island here of Kauai, Hawaii. There you go. This warning is for the entire island of Kauai. That's a flash flood warning there. We do have some spots on the island that are going to get a ton of rain out of this. It does look like maybe a couple of spots get over 5 inches. Some isolated spots there. Close to 5.5 inches. So, don't do any driving out there right now. But back up here to our big storm cluster in Pennsylvania and Ohio. Still seeing some large to very large hail there. If you're just now tuning in, we have been live for over an hour now. We're covering severe weather here. Currently, we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings, and wow, okay, this is breaking. The Ohio side of this warning has been upgraded to golf ball size hail. So Warren, Newton Falls, Southington, the Mesopotamia Township, Mecca, Cortland, some golf ball size hail potentially coming in. Technically, Aurora is included in that warning, which is interesting because the storm is definitely past Aurora. Aurora, you're good. Everywhere else in this warning, though, at this point, you need to be, like, getting away from windows to protect yourself from this massive hail. Again, we do have hail up to golf ball size potentially falling there in northeastern Ohio. It surprises me that it didn't get upgraded on this side of the border, because this side looks even more impressive to me. Like, the Sandy Lake area, especially on the south side, like, this is coming in. We have a new record now, 72 decibels, or dBs. Again, golf ball size hail with this now. It's very serious. That's right along Highway 422. Don't travel out there now, for sure. That is the biggest severe thunderstorm warning we have right now, by far. And again, that does include the city of Warren, Ohio. Warren, Ohio, this is coming in, 15 to 30 minutes. You got that massive hail. I'd like to give you a more specific range, but we've got too many things to focus on right now to take the time to map that out. Again, if you do have any reports of severe weather, send that into your local National Weather Service, or any reports of flooding, which is technically not considered severe weather, but I think it should be. The outages. Let's see here. When was this most recently updated? Let's see. This is a new update. We have about 7,000 people without power in Ohio. About 8,400 in Pennsylvania still. Actually, I don't think that was updated at all yet. Again, it would be a little too early anyway because the storms are not done knocking out power, so we're not going to be able to see, like, the grand total yet, obviously, because they're nowhere near done. They're just beginning. Again, right over Interstate 79, this is some massive hail here. 73 dBz, new record. 74 dBz, new record. That's, you get to that point, and you're talking about, some massive hail. I feel like the words very large don't properly emphasize that. So again, was it 74 dBz that we had, or 75? About 74. So that is going to be, potentially up to tennis ball size hail. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying that's like the upper end. That's like, if worse comes to worse, that's what's going to happen. But that is a real possibility still. It would not totally shock me if we did see, a tennis ball sized hail report out of this area. I'm not saying it's super likely. I'm just saying it is a possibility. Let's go back out to our storm towards Emporium. This one's looking a little bit less impressive, but it does still have some large hail and damaging winds associated with it, so go ahead and get indoors. Try not to travel, especially on interstates. Actually, no interstates go through that warning, but traveling at all is not great, not ideal in that area. But if you have to travel, I understand. If you're only traveling like 5 minutes, you should be good. But yeah, try to avoid long distance travels in these warnings right now. Again, the biggest hail right now is right over Interstate 79, unfortunately. It's just sitting there. Areas like Stoneboro and Sandy Lake, though, you're probably getting some pretty large hail yourselves. Not surprise me if you got some, ping pong ball, maybe even golf ball size hail right now in that area going on. And, I keep wanting to look around, because usually we have multiple areas we're watching, but it's all kind of centered in Pennsylvania and Ohio right now. Chilling at 72 dBz now, which is still some very large hail. Just because that one radar scan lowered it a tad bit does not mean it's any less intense on the hail core-wise. That's really interesting. I don't see any immediate tornado threat with any of these storms here. But there are some that are rotating just a little bit. That I'm thinking maybe down the line they try to do something. It actually looks like we do have a little bit of rotation here. Possibly centered around to the north of Galinza in Pennsylvania right now, to the south east of Nebraska. We may have a little bit of rotation in there. It's nothing immediately tornadic, but I think down the line this could evolve. And in fact, it is kind of still growing. So we got to look out here down the line. This is moving southeast. I think this definitely is going to be one of our storms that has a tornado threat associated with it down the line here as it approaches southeast, like areas like Sandy, Brockway. Just going to have to look out there for that potential tornado threat developing. Again, nothing right now. If you're in Nebraska or Galinza, I'm not concerned about a tornado, but I'm just pointing those areas out because that's where the rotation's near right now. And again, it's minor rotation. I don't want to make it seem like it's immediately tornadic because it's definitely not. But yeah. Looks like max velocity is live right now. Alright. Again, we do have some large to very large hail falling just to the south of Sandy Lake, Pennsylvania at the minute. Again, our storm near Emporium's not quite as impressive as these other ones, but still some large hail and damaging winds could not be ruled out. These other ones are just really impressive, you know. It's not that one's not impressive, it's just the other ones are really impressive. And again, this is only the beginning. It's going to get worse, guys. I don't want to overhype this or make it sound like scary or anything, but this is only the beginning. And we got Brandon Kopic. He's out there, but he's not covering this event. He's getting in position for tomorrow's event. Alright. Like I said earlier, these storms are starting to suck up all this storm juice now as they approach central Pennsylvania. And they're only going to get worse, most likely. Unfortunately. So do have a tornado action plan in place. Again, don't be scared, be prepared, and you will be good. You'll be fine, I promise. As long as you take the right precautions. Again, this storm is rotating just a little bit there, off to the north and the west of Vowinkle. But it's not immediately tornadic. We're not going to see a tornado, you know, within the next 5 or 10 minutes with this. It's something that's going to be down the line, I'd say. Yeah, definitely nothing tornadic yet. But, anyway. This may be mostly not contamination, but this is just where the winds on the radar meet. I don't think this is actually rotation there near Fairview and Fredonia. Sorry, I was getting a text. Let's see. Again, the storm near Emporium is getting very close to the town there, so get ready for that, you guys, in Emporium, Pennsylvania. Once again, all this is in either Ohio or Pennsylvania right now. Mostly Pennsylvania, though. Alrighty. We do actually have some storms all the way up towards Vienna, New York right now. Those aren't going to be severe or anything, but they are there, which is kind of surprising. Vienna, not Vienna. Let's looking to see if there's any snow up here. Doesn't look like it, though. Let's get back to our storm here. These storms are producing quite a bit of lightning. So, gotta look out for that threat, too. Make sure that you're getting indoors in a lightning-free environment. Try to avoid using like the sink, turning on sink, or turning on a shower. Because I know some people call it a rumor, but lightning really can travel through plumbing. Alright, this one near Wellsboro, again, it's a situation where it's not immediately tornadic, but it is rotating just enough to the point where I think down the line that could become a problem. Again, I'm not concerned about that town. I'm pointing it out because that's where the rotation's near. And it could eventually become problematic, but not in that area. It'll be past you by then. So again, don't be scared, be prepared. Make sure that you have multiple ways to receive alerts. This stream is one of them. I'm going to be talking about all the alerts that we get. A NOAA weather radio is one way. Tornado sirens. I mean, I wouldn't rely on the sirens as a way of alerts because they will only go off for tornadoes for most communities. And you're going to want to know if there's even like a severe thunderstorm warning. Like, I doubt that the sirens are going off for this storm with the golf ball size hail, but you want to know about it still, right? So, again, in case let's say, this stream is one of your ways to receive alerts. What happens if your Wi-Fi goes out? Well, NOAA weather radios are able to work without Wi-Fi. So there's a good backup plan. You need to have a way to receive alerts, and if that way fails, make sure that you do have a backup way. If you have like an app on your phone, that's a good one. I would not rely on the wireless emergency alerts on your phone, because again, those are only going to go off for your tornado warnings and your destructive severe thunderstorm warnings. They don't go off for warnings like this that are just considerable, not destructive. We do have confirmed quarter-sized hail at least. An NWS employee did report quarter-sized hail in Parkman. Where's that actually at? If it's an NWS employee, I bet it's close to... yeah, they didn't even go through the worst of the hail. So we have hail likely larger than quarter size falling, but there's a report of quarter size hail now from Parkman in Ohio. So it's no longer just a radar indicated thing. We could really have that. Alright. Again, I'm zooming out because usually we're watching multiple areas that are far away, but no, it's just this Pennsylvania, Ohio thing. There is that 1-inch hail report I was talking about. Or actually, that's a different one. So there's also 1-inch hail being reported. Oh, no, that might be the same one. It's near Parkman. Yep, it's the NWS employee. So we do have at least a report of quarter-size hail now. Again, obviously the National Weather Service will report what they can, but we also need you to do your part. Report all large hail and damaging wind, really any severe weather that you see, as well as flooding. That also helps a ton. Again, this is a ton of massive hail. This warning should really be upgraded from half-dollar size hail to at least like golf ball size hail, I'd say. Even ping pong ball size hail would do the trick, but I don't think half-dollar size hail is really accurate. I think it's much bigger than that, if I had to guess. And we have several spots that are getting to 70 dBZs, but even like 60 dBZ is enough to be hail. Usually if you see 60 dBZ, that is hail. Either that or it's just extremely heavy rain. And again, in Emporium, you're going to get hit by a storm here that's a little bit less intense, but still capable of producing some large hail and damaging winds possibly as it approaches you. So look out for that. A rotation on the storm near Wellsboro has died out, so it's looking like it's not going to do anything for a while. Again, I didn't think it was going to do anything for a while, but now it's looking like it's going to be even longer before it does anything, if it does anything at all. But anyway, where was the other area of rotation? Was it this? Oh, it was this over here. Even that's dying out, so we don't really have any areas of impressive rotation right now. Oh, wow. That's, could be some sort of rotation. At the very least, that's a pocket of higher winds. You got 55 mile per hour winds there. And that's in northwestern PA right now. Again, we do have our golf ball size hail over here. At least quarter size hail, because we got a report of that, but possibly up to golf ball size. And this, I think, is definitely at least possibly bigger than $half sized hail. I want to watch out for that one. I don't think that's warned properly. At least, I mean, I would give it a bigger warning than that. Doesn't mean that's right, but it's just what I would do. But National Weather Service knows best when it comes to the weather. They're going to do what's right. They're going to keep you safe. And one of the ways they do that is, again, by getting your guys' reports so that they know what's actually going on so they can warn the public. So, I don't encourage anybody to go outside in this, really, but, you know, if you're a storm watcher, if you're not afraid of the storm, you know, maybe just go outside, get a hailstone. Maybe even if you're just indoors, you know, you're sitting indoors, you're all safe. Maybe if you see a hailstone that's like 10 feet outside your house, maybe you should go out and grab that. Just, you know, don't stay out there too long. Don't, like, do a little dance. That was a weird thing to say. I'm sorry. With this watch, the tornado threat is low. The strong tornado threat is very low. The damaging wind threat is moderate. The destructive wind threat is low. The large hail threat is moderate, and the very large hail threat is moderate, according to the watch from the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center. Again, I would not rule out a brief tornado, but it's very unlikely that we see one on the stronger side. Yeah, we have a 5% chance of that. So it could happen, but it's unlikely. It's not the lowest they can do, though. I'm pretty sure they're able to issue less than 5% tags on these things here. So there is a very, very small, strong tornado threat. Again, I'd say one tornado, one brief spin up is probably likely today. This little guy here near Abbott's definitely producing some large hail. I think that might get warned in the near future here for at least probably a severe thunderstorm warning, honestly. A lot of these storms are quickly rising to severe criteria now. Still some massive hail here, and now on the Ohio side of the border, we're also getting blue DBZs. Oh, that's from the wrong radar site. This one's closer and more accurate, and it's not showing that, so maybe not. But yeah. Oh, we got another 1-inch hail report. This one comes from a train weather spotter near State Road 5 and State Road 46 near Cortland, 1 mile south-southwest of Cortland, Ohio. 1-inch hail was reported. So now we have 2 1-inch hail reports there from this storm. So, again, we have multiple instances of this storm producing quarter-sized hail. And, maybe even bigger than that. We just don't have that reported. The radar indicated threat is up to golf ball-sized hail, which is possible. So, Alright. Let's take a look at if the power outage map has updated yet, and if there's any more power outages than there was before. Again, it's not going to be a whole lot more, but that may be a little bit more than what it had earlier. 8,433 customers without power in Pennsylvania, 7,079 in Ohio. That's actually less than it was earlier in Ohio. Huh. Alrighty then. Oh, and we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning now. I'm going to go ahead and play the little alert sound very quickly here.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. That is for Ridgeway, Benezet, in Pennsylvania here. That's for hail up to 1 inch in diameter and 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Go ahead and get indoors away from this storm. Try not to travel on the highway there or the interstate. This does include a little bit of Interstate 80 there near the Anderson Creek area. Make sure that you are not traveling there, especially in a high-profile vehicle. It's very dangerous. So again, we do now have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings. It took a while to pick up, but once it did pick up, we're going fast now. I think I probably just went live a little too early. But we're going to cover this event from end to end here, if possible. Is that really how Punxsutawney is spelt? I did not know it was spelt that way. I thought there was an H in there that was silent between the P and the U. I guess not. Learn something new every day, huh? I know I did say this was going to be one big stream, but I am going to have to take a supper break at some point, so I might end soon and come back, after I eat. Again, I really would like to do this all in just one big stream, but, obviously I've got to, properly take care of myself, and if I get dinner out of the way soon, then whenever it's at, the peak of the event, I won't have to go anywhere. So I'm thinking maybe within the next couple minutes we end off here, and then I will be back later. I'm not giving up here. We do not have any tornado warnings yet. Again, none of these really have a great spin yet. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning, so I'm going to go ahead and play the noise. Please work, noise. Please work, noise. Please work, noise.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
There we go. Hail up to 1 inch in diameter and 60 mile per hour winds possible. This does include Gailton, but Gailton, for the most part, this is past you already. Areas like Cedar Run, Blackwell, Morris, Duncan, Liberty, Slate Run, you're going to be included in this here. Watch out there. And we have another new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be here for, that's an extension. So it's for a storm that we already have. But this severe thunderstorm warning does include Toby, Limestone, all the way out to Brockway. This is a very big warning. 1.25 inch in diameter hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts are coming in to potentially this entire area. So, and again, that goes all the way out to Newcastle, actually, which is insane. It's a very large area there of one severe thunderstorm warning. The population in that one warning is, I don't know because it's not popped up on the NWST storm page yet. Come on, dude. Well, I guess I'm not going to tell you how many people includes. Oh, there we go. 225,000 people in that one warning box. In total, we have like 500,000 people under severe thunderstorm warning right now. Ooh, we do have our first wind damage report, and we have 2 more 1-inch in hail reports. So, 1-inch diameter hail report from the Jackson Center area, 1-inch in diameter hail report from Warren, Ohio, and then also a wind damage report now. 2 80-foot pine trees down. 80-foot pine trees. So these are some strong winds, man. We may see this get upgraded to 70 miles per hour in terms of the wind threat soon. So we'll have to watch out for that. Again, I'm going to go ahead and end off the stream here. I'm going to eat dinner, and I'm immediately coming back because this is an active situation. So I'm going to end off here. Thank you all for watching.